Good evening. It's a pleasure to have you join us here on Rwanda Television News, the news in detail with me, Gloria Mutesi. Rwanda's Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation has criticized foreigners that have been found to both negate and deny the genocide that was perpetrated against the Tutsi. The minister made the remarks during discussions organized on Sunday, bringing together Rwandans living in the diaspora with officials in different capacities. Sesh Nori.
Bernadette Mukahaza joined the army in 1981 and would later flee with her 3 children to what used to be Zaire, spending a year wandering in the jungles of the DRC before deciding to return to Rwanda.
I came back afraid because they had been telling us that former soldiers like us would be killed, but I decided to return nevertheless and found that they had been lying to us the entire time. I have 3 children and all but the youngest have completed their university studies, and I have the government to thank for it.
Other participants in the discussions noted on the importance of older generations passing on accurate information about what happened in Rwanda to younger ones. What follows is to ensure that the youth and others are aware about where that information can be found and how it can be used. That is why it is available on our website, and during commemoration periods, we increase our efforts in this regard. I believe you have heard of how we make an effort to summarize the genocide as it was carried out on a daily basis. That information is available in a book that was written in 3 languages, Kinyarwanda, French and English, and narrations of it in those 3 languages are released daily, spreading the word all around the world.
So we're left with these ideologies that are given new life they never should have, and such is the state of genocide denial for Rwanda. And because there's so many competing voices vying for our attention, all sharing different narratives, and not all of them are true or valid, it makes it really difficult to be heard above the noise and incorrect information. And especially with how fast things go viral online.
Our collective resilience is your justice and our revenge. We have come a long way. May your soul rest in peace. We promise you such tragedy will never happen again. How I wish you could see how Rwanda has emerged to become a safe haven country where flow honey and milk again.
27 years. Our memory is still fresh as if it was yesterday. We remember how you were killed without defense, persecuted by those who were supposed to protect you, rejected, betrayed by those you trusted. Your refuge became your graveyard. Although we are still mourning, even though the tragic moments we went through during the genocide perpetrated against Tutsi are still vivid in our collective memory, we are not crushed.
Rwandans living in different parts of the world were also given the opportunity to express their views. Those living abroad have also noted that with time and effort, anything is possible. It was also noted that the international community can sometimes ignore established facts about the genocide that was perpetrated against the Tutsi.
Iyo nzira yo kwibuka rero ibibazo birimo ni ibyo nakomeje kuvuga gupfobya guhakana.
When it comes to commemoration efforts, the problems that exist are, like I said, genocide denial and negation, and this is done in many ways. Some claim that had Habyarimana's plane not been shot down, nothing would have happened. But the plan for the genocide existed, and obviously how it would have been implemented would have also been catered for. Others then dispute the figures. Even the UN keeps insisting on 800,000. Yet here in Rwanda, you all know that the names of victims were compiled numbering over 1 million in total. Other individuals even dare to claim that the number is closer to 500,000. Regardless, genocide cannot be quantified in numbers, but trying to reduce the number of those killed also has its own agenda. During the discussions, young people were also urged not to fall into the trap of hate and instead look to the example set by the country's heroes of the past and strive to build Rwanda up, not destroy it.
Up to 170 families whose homes were demolished by earthquakes as a result of the eruption of the Nyiragongo volcano thanked the government for renting houses for them for 2 months. It's while a survey is being done to determine how and when to repair or rebuild infrastructure that has been affected by the tremors. Life has slowly returned to normal in Gisenyi town this past 2 weeks. While some people have resumed their day-to-day work, others have been trying to repair their buildings that were affected. As a result of the effects of the tremors, people whose houses were destroyed were immediately given assistance in terms of accommodation. It's totally unfortunate for your house to be demolished. I was in bad condition. I wasn't feeding. I had left and gone somewhere else until I came back and started living with the neighbors, whose houses were also demolished but have not received their documentation, and they are now asking for authorities to assist them so that they too can get accommodation. The mayor of Rubavu district said that the residents should seek assistance from the authorities to get accommodation while processing the documentation of their land and houses. When we pay rent for a person whose house was demolished, we have to do it diligently, showing which houses were demolished, even before they verify the documents of their land and the houses. We are ready to give them proper services and timely services so that everything is done accordingly. The tremors that devastated Rubavu district came at a time after the master plan for the district had already been done. In this regard, the executive secretary asked that the residents be patient as they wait for the final report on when it's safe to start renovations. Instead of repairing now and then the earthquake hits again perhaps, and then the houses will break down again. We are trying to avoid that, and so we've given ourselves 2 weeks. That's why we are telling the residents that they wait to start renovations until we can give them a go-ahead, and that's the directive we got from our leaders, and we should respect that. Rubavu District Administration says that more than 2,660 buildings were destroyed by the earthquakes, including 307 that were completely destroyed beyond repair. The government has rented houses for about 177 families, 102 of them from Rugerero sector, and others in Rubavu, Gisenyi, and Nyundo sectors. Consumers and traders of different products have been claiming that the inflation rate is on the rise, which has necessitated the increase of prices of basic commodities. Jocelyn Mugwaneza.
Food and hygiene products are among the necessity goods. However, buyers and sellers nowadays claim that prices of those necessity goods have shot high. Sellers say they have no buyers, while buyers say that prices are beyond their capacity. Beans are expensive and we are in its growing season. You understand that if we're in this season, we should be getting them at 300 or 200 francs. We no longer have clients. There is no money. You come and sit here all day. We don't know the cause of price rising because the importers give us goods and we get only 200 francs as a profit. Super toilet paper that was on 1,800 is now on 2,300 francs. Made in Rwanda cleaning product manufacturers have pointed out that transport fee and other related problems are the main causes of the inflated prices on the market. The executive secretary of Rwanda's Consumer Rights Protection Organization, ADECOR, has said that the government should find solution to this problem.
The government should set strategies according to the circumstances we are in and do exoneration, especially on food products and household materials, because you find that imports are expensive. Even when they reach on the market in the country, they are still expensive and people cannot afford them.
Beata Habyarimana, the Minister of Trade and Industry, says that discussions are ongoing with different stakeholders to find suitable solutions. We talked to Rwanda Revenue Authority and the Ministry of Finance and Economic Planning to see what could be done that will result to the price stability. I can promise them that the government is putting a lot of effort. We started by reducing fuel prices. To those that manufacture sanitary pads and other relations, we talked to those industries that were using few employees to add more. Each year, 28,000 tons of soaps are produced in Rwanda, 30,000 tons are exported. 3,000 tons of sanitary paper products are made in Rwanda, while imports are 200,000 tons. In 1 year since COVID-19 was detected in Rwanda, the price of one soap box increased to 7,500 francs from 5,800 francs, while sanitary paper products increased to 2,500 francs from 1,800 francs.
Now, throughout the course of the week, Rwanda's Minister for Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Dr Vicent Biruta, was received in Tanzania as a special envoy by Her Excellency Samia Suluhu Hassan, where matters of cooperation among the two countries were discussed. The minister was also on a working visit this week in South Africa, where the establishment of a joint mechanism was agreed upon to guide the normalization of relations of both countries. We spoke to John Mugabo, an expert in diplomacy and international relations, about the significance of the visit to the two countries.
The rocky relationship with Tanzania is long gone, has been long gone, and up to now, up to recent, I mean when the late President Magufuli was still in charge, I mean our relationship was pretty much normal and good.
Okay, and what do you make of this recent meeting between Dr. Vicent Biruta, the visit that he made to Tanzania and as a special envoy?
I don't know much about what the message actually consisted, but I think we were trying to emphasize and reaffirm our position, our normal relationship, trying to assure the new president of our willingness and readiness to keep the whatever was between us going, and she also, I think, in my mind, I think she needed that reassurance as well. So I think it was very important that that step was done. With Tanzania, I think we have a very good and promising relations, but it was very important as well to reaffirm that commitment to a good relation. And the current president being, I mean, she's been also in the previous government as well. She already knows what she's already on board, and she's aware of our relations. But it was important as well that she gets reassured. So there's nothing as having a new clean slate with Tanzania. That's my thinking. But there was supposed to be a reassurance to even make it better with the new leadership.
Well, the Minister of Foreign Affairs also this week visited South Africa, and the two countries agreed on the establishment of a joint mechanism to normalize relations. First of all, what do you think, or what's your take on the willingness of the two countries to actually meet and try and forge a way?
That is applaudable. We applaud the willingness of the two heads of states, because as we understand, President Ramaphosa had reiterated his willingness to cooperate and revive back the relations of the two countries. And I think there was communications going on Now, going forward, we needed to see the results, the fruits of the last communications they made and the discussions that were made here. And I think we stalled somehow along the way. Some things were not as clear and fast as we expected. But now with the joint commission, I think this is going to speed up, you know, the reviving of the relationship. That's what everyone hopes, and the willingness that this commission should be formed is also another thing that we should be appreciative of, because it shows, it reaffirms, it re-emphasizes the commitment and willingness of the two countries to normalize their relations. What it takes has already been done. You know, it takes commitment. It takes commitment to your word, and which is what we are seeing now. This is a demonstration of the commitment of the two heads of states, and I think that was the major step to be taken. And I think next will be delving into what actually might have been the reason for stalling, or maybe, you know, the slowing down of so I think everything that was supposed to be done has been done from the heads of states. The rest will be the findings and to streamline how this should be done going forward.
All right. Thank you so much, John Mugabo, for your insights this evening.
Thank you too for having me.
It's a pleasure. In other news, Nyarugenge district, in collaboration with Kigali City, is implementing a project of constructing homes or accommodating residents living in the area near the Manzi drainage system of Kimisagara, Gitega and Gwezamenyo sectors. Residents who live in that area agree that staying there as it is would be putting their lives at risk. Jane Mutani with the details.
Some residents of Nyarugenge district who live close to the Mhazi drainage believe staying in that area, especially during the rainy season, could be of danger to their lives, as floods could occur. They request to be relocated and given homes in secure areas. A heavy rain destroyed our houses to the ground, and we had nowhere else to go, except now that we are renting, but it's still hard for us to afford. We request the government to get us places to live, because it's hard to afford paying rent. It would be helpful if they constructed houses for us, and even better if they gave us some money too. The executive secretary of the Gitega sector, Uza Mukunda Natali, explains that the construction of homes for this community is being done on the land they already live in, and that it was done after a consensus and detailed information on the program. They are involved in the start of the project, and they have information about how the project is going, because even before they make preparations of the construction site, they first fill them in on the plans. The best solution is to give them compensations for their homes while they stay where they've been living for their safety. One of the residents included in the project, Habumva Yino Christensia, says they are happy to be relocated to a safe area. Like in the rainy season, water would flood everywhere, which was a threat to the safety of the people. The government has good plans in place to solve this issue. As it is constructing modern houses for us, we now feel safe because of the good governance. In order to prevent the residents from using their compensations to build homes in chaotic areas, Nyarugenge district, in collaboration with Kigali City, have come up with this project of constructing homes for them where they have been staying, so as to improve housing. The Nyarugenge district executive administrator, Gawanziza Emi, says in addition to settling the people on their land, they will also be given good houses in the form of compensation. We have a plan to help the people living in the area to renovate their homes and stay on their land and get better houses as compensation for the land and property which they had and live happily, improving the residential area and progressing from to
Now we also bring you a story of those who engage in hill climbing as a sport, who say that anyone can do it and it helps people to stay fit. As Serge Nora reports, both physical exercise and health experts have commended the activity for its benefits and say that it can help those who engage in it to fight off illnesses and relieve built-up stress. Take a look.
Climbers head for Rebero in Kigali, keeping each other's morale up as they go and waiting every time someone falls behind. They say that in addition to helping them to remain fit, the activity also promotes social cohesion.
This is a sport like any other that involves physical activity, like going to the gym or playing football. You just use your natural strength through natural movements. It doesn't require anything extraordinary. You get tired, but it should be expected because it is, after all, just another sport.
This sport helps you to discover new places, meet new people, and see new things and more.
It's enjoyable to do and it helps train the entire body while helping you to get around and see new things and breathe in the fresh air.
Both physical exercise and health experts have commended the activity for its benefits and say it can help those who engage in it to fight off illnesses and relieve built-up stress.
Thank you for the privilege of your time. Have a great week ahead. God bless you and keep you. And until next time, I'm Gloria Mutesi. Bye for now.